I'm Savannah and this is Savannah Says. So this video might be a little long. Hopefully it's not. I'm gonna try my best to not make it long, but this is going to be my end of the year TBR. And the reason why it's long is because I actively am always reading like 12 things at one time. I kind of start reading something, then my attention gets grabbed by something else, and then I stop what I'm reading and start the next thing, and then like the cycle continues and I never finish what I'm reading, and it's kind of embarrassing. But my end of the year TBR is essentially just finishing all of the things that I have started and not yet finished. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean series, because I'm a series girl, and sometimes the series just like goes on and you need a break. So the series might not be finished, but the book will be finished. First, we're going to start with all of the things that I will finish by December 31st, hopefully. First up is the vampire TBR that I made for myself and fell off because I got a little distracted. I'll link the video up above, but just in case, like for the sake of this, I'm just gonna go through it real quick. Dracula by Bram Stoker. I started listening to this on audio, which was probably a mistake by itself, even though I've heard literally so many people tell me this is a good book, and you know, it's part of the vampire TBR, so it has to happen. Salem's Lot. This book isn't bad. Again, I'm easily distracted. I'm not that far in, but it's like easy to read. So hopefully I can finish it. Not hopefully, I will finish it. Empower yourself. We're gonna manifest that. I will be finishing that book. Next on the vampire TBR is Twilight. If I don't read this, I won't be pressed because I've read this so many times, but like I want to read it again because I got new books jackets for it and I just kind of want to hold it up. Next is Interview with the Vampire. I don't know where my book is. Again, vampires. And the other two vampire books on that TBR I've already read. So we're not doing that bad. We're doing okay. Babel by R.F. Kuang. Okay, now you can't really see, but I'm like at least halfway through this book. And this is just a situation where like this book is good when I'm reading it, but when I'm not reading it, I don't really care. And so I'm not like compelled to finish reading it. This is like a dark academia-ish historical fantasy type situation, and it's good, but like I just haven't felt the need to like pick it up and read it. Next is Ink and Bone by Rachel Kane. I started this book in the summertime and I just never finished it. It's not bad, it's pretty good. Again, the book is good and I want to finish reading it. I just haven't because of who I am as a person. Mother of Death and Dawn, which is a part of the Daughters of the Lost Heart series. The War of Lost Hearts, my bad, by Carissa Broadbent. So my beef with this series is that these books are way fucking long. Like the first two were like 600 pages and they're slow. Like not even slow burn romantically, just like a slow plot. And this last one is like 750 pages. And I just like could not do it once I finished the second one. I was like, I need a break from this, but I want to finish it by the end of the year because enough's enough. The Traitor Baru Cormorant by Seth Dickinson. Now, this is the book that derailed me off of my vampire TBR. This book is like a geopolitical fantasy, so it's like very hard to explain, but it's very densely political and it's kind of hard to like follow at times. It's one of those things where you just got to go into it knowing that you know what the fuck's going on. This is a series of 3 books that are currently out, so no promises for the other 2. Next, we have The Hunter and the Mage, which is the second book in the Raven and the Dove series, which is like this fantasy romance series that I found on Kindle Unlimited, which is actually quite good. I'm just, again, 50% of the way through with this book. It's not bad. I actually really like it when I'm reading it. I'm like into it. Just when I'm not, I don't care. Crush, which is the second book in the Crave series by Tracy Wolff. This series is low-key like Crazy Town YA paranormal. I thought the first one was really fun. Like it was just straight up fun reading, even though I thought the main character was kind of dumb. Currently, I think the 5th or 6th book just came out like either last week or this week. Today is November 14th for the record, but I do know that I will not finish this series before the end of the year, but I will finish this book. Keep the expectations very low. I'm trying to not overwhelm myself, but I can already tell. I mean, you know what? Whatever. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna try to read it, and by the end of the year, y'all are gonna know whether I did it or not. Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. Okay, now this book is just, it's comedic. It's a comedy romance, and it's not that it was bad. It wasn't good, and I want to review it because it's just so ridiculous. So I'm gonna finish this and I'm gonna do a video about it, and y'all are gonna know what that's about. Psycho, which is the second in the Necessary Evil series by Only James. Again, I got distracted. This is like a serial killer male romance series. There's like 7 of these now. When I started, there was like 5. Now the Halloween picks, this is where things get dicey because I read a lot of things that were horror that were not that. Were not the books that I chose, and that's fine because, you know, I expanded my horizons, but now I have these books that I said I'm gonna read and I haven't read them yet. So worst comes to worst, if I don't read them by December, they will have been read by January, and then we'll just like delay the picking for the springtime. I don't know. Let me not make that promise. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but the books that I picked for that are Shadow Glass by Josh Winning, which is it's like sort of like Muppet-ish. I have the book, don't know where it is, so here's a picture. Other Words for Smoke by Sarah Maria Griffin. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which is a classic. River of Ashes by Alexandra Weiss, and I think this book wasn't out when I picked it from the jar, but I think it might be out now, unsure. Plain Bad Heroines, which I do have on loan from the library, so that is going to be read next. And I think this like book is the basis for that Yellow Jacket show on Showtime, and that show looks really good and I kind of want to watch it, so like I'm definitely gonna read this. Waking the Marrow by Heather Rigney. This is on KU, so I think I already have it downloaded to my Kindle. Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant, mermaid horror. Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky. The Shining by Stephen King, and Direwood by Catherine Yu. Now, I did read 2 of the other books that I picked for this, which that will be like in the wrap-up video for that. Again, I'll link the video above. You be the judge if I'm gonna read it or not. And for all the series that I'm in the middle of now, tough order, you know, I don't think I'm gonna read the rest of these series. And I think that is all the things that I have left to read for my end of the year TBR. I mean, how many books is that? Like, so that total is 26 books, which, I mean, 26 by the end of December is not that bad. Like, that's what, 13 books this month and 13 next month. Like, I don't think that's unreasonable. I pretty much read like 15 books, I think, in October. So like, I can do that. It's just a matter of like, doing it. Y'all know what my TBR is now. Tell me if you read any of these books, if you like any of these books, if you think some of these series or some of these books aren't worth continuing. Comment below, like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.